Tell us, Amber, what we're doing today.
We're at my court date.
Alrighty, so I'm back to little kid mom again. We're having a real hard time saving Christmas cookies this year. Good morning, everybody. We are starting the day out with some fun stuff going down here. So this is kind of the adventures of a mom with teenagers. Here's the kinds of things that happen. Tell us, Amber, what we're doing today.
We're at my court date for my speeding ticket.
Yes, not the most serious of things, of course, but she got a speeding ticket, decided that she wanted to
try and like
bring it down a little bit.
Maybe get points back.
Yeah, maybe get a few points off. So that's what we're doing today. We're at traffic court, and yeah, so this should be interesting to see how this all goes. I contested or whatever speeding ticket once a number of years ago, and I just thought it was interesting actually to just be in the court and kind of see how the court system works, because I just had never experienced that before. So I think this is going to be a good experience for Amber today to just kind of see how the court system works.
Yep.
If anything.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
All right, let's go do this.
All right, sounds good.
Alrighty, so one not guilty plea and then one guilty plea.
Yeah.
Stop.
Well, not guilty plea. I was like,
yeah, actually a not guilty and then a not guilty. Whoops, it was supposed to be a guilty. Okay, we got it done. Figured out traffic court. Stopped, paid the fine.
yeah.
Good to go.
Yeah, we're good. Ay,
is right.
Hold up.
Alrighty, so I'm back to little kid mom again, and this is no small feat to get all three of them at this table at the same time. Hey, those are blessed palms, don't do that. And but things are going to change because Amber just had all of a sudden this revelation that they have speech class today. And they were supposed to do something with cookies and something that means something to them and their family for Christmas. And so I guess they had sort of, her and Sam had kind of, I don't know if they signed up or if they, I don't know how it all went down, but they said they were going to make Spritz cookies, which is kind of like something from Warren's side of the family. It's just like a favorite cookie. And it just so happens, and let me tell you the time, it's actually 10:30 and they have to leave at 12:30, or a little bit before that. So
is Amber taking me straight to driver's ed then?
Yes, she's taking you straight to driver's ed.
Well, can I print off some, how am I going to print, can I use your computer actually?
To do what?
To print off my homework
Okay.
for yesterday's class?
Yes.
Okay, because I gotta get that now.
Okay, and then we're going to be teenage mom. So they need to borrow my computer, print out stuff for driver's ed. Okay, so things are just changing a little bit. So here's what we're gonna do. You cannot go in my room. I'll have to get it. Okay, I'll be back. So, okay, so the cookies, Amber got the cookies done. And together they're kind of working on a speech right now. Here are the Spritz cookies, and they're just so pretty. I just love them so much. The house smells like Christmas, and this, oh, it just feels like Christmas now that we have all these little mini trees done. So I do know that I get a number of people that are watching because they homeschool, and or even maybe considering homeschooling. And homeschooling is great. Homeschooling is hard. Homeschooling's worth it. Today, when things like this kind of come up, where I've got everybody out at the table and I'm ready to homeschool them, and the big kids are working on their homeschool, and then all of a sudden everybody remembers that something has to change, right? We just had like that major change there where we had to jump up and get going on the cookies, and they had to completely change direction and work on their speech stuff. I think when I can like take a step back, and now that I've been homeschooling for long enough, I am able to take that step back a little bit easier and see that there is value in all of that. There's even value in that sort of stressful moment where everyone's a little bit kind of at each other. It kind of helps us to all learn how to, okay, let's just step back. Let's not raise our voice at everybody. Let's not get short with each other. And let's think about how are we going to approach this and all kind of come out winners in the end, which doesn't always happen, but that's always the goal. If you find yourself in a position where you're kind of feeling yucky about getting off track, I assure you it happens to all homeschooling families, and it really is okay, because there really are a lot of lessons that can be learned in the off-track time. Things like learning how to work together, learning how to work, you know, how to work on a project together, or learning how to be patient with both your mom or with your siblings, whether they're older or younger, all those kinds of things. So there really are, you know, distractions are happening all the time. They happen here all the time, and we just get off track and then work at getting back on track. And I have to say that I wasn't always as willing to go with the flow. I guess I'm a little bit more able to go with the flow now, just because I do see the benefit in some of the situations that do get us off track. So anyway, just wanted to point that out to you guys, that getting off track during the homeschool day is very, very normal. Okay. So tonight it's just going to be Warren and myself and the 3 little kids home for supper, because with all the things that Amber and Sam have going, they actually are going to just be out of the house pretty much all night until like bedtime or whatever. So tonight I'm going to be making a new recipe, and it is, I found it online, probably through Pinterest, and I kind of looked at a number of recipes, but anyway, what I'm making is spicy Mongolian beef. This happens to be venison. This was a very small little venison roast that we had. It was 1 1/4 pounds. I think the recipe calls for 1 1/4 or 1 1/2 pounds of beef. And so I just sliced this really, really thin. I have this boning knife here. I love using this for slicing meat thin. And, you know, you sort of, I'll hold the camera back a little bit, but I kind of like angle the knife as I'm slicing through cross grain to get just a really nice, thin, really short fibered meat. So that is what I have going here. I also will show you what I do when I find a recipe. So here are my notes on my phone. Okay, and it's pulling right up to this. So if I find a recipe at, say, Pinterest or really any place online, and then once I go to the recipe, what I'll do is either highlight all of it and copy it, or wherever it gives me the option to print, I will then like highlight the whole thing, and then I just paste it into my notes. Because what always seems to happen to me is I find the recipe and I write it down on my notes, and if I don't make a note as to I found it on Pinterest, or I put it into a certain, you know, like on a certain board or whatever, I can't ever seem to get back to it. And this has been working great, to just keep it right in my notes, and then I have it. So whenever I decide to make the recipe, I have it there, and then I can always print it from my notes if it happens to be something we really like. So this is the recipe for tonight. It's called Mongolian Beef, P.F. Chang's Copycat. I will have to, the author is Kristen Marlig. I'll have to find that I'll have to find the website for you and link it in the description box below if we like the recipe. We're having a real hard time saving Christmas cookies this year. That is actually, well, there's one more. There's one more lonely cookie in there. And that is pretty much it that we have right now. So I was actually just working on making some peanut butter balls, or peanut butter bonbons, sometimes they're called too. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with this recipe, but it's so easy. 2 cups of graham cracker crumbs, 2 cups powdered sugar, 2 cups, it calls for crunchy peanut butter, but my family prefers creamy, so I just always use creamy. 4 tablespoons of nice and soft butter, and then that all gets you know, mixed up all together, and then chilled a little bit, and then you roll it into small balls, and then dip it into a bag of chocolate chips. And really, you can do it however you want. If you like, if you like the flavor of milk chocolate with your peanut butter better, or if you like the semi-sweet, or if you like a dark chocolate, you can even do a white chocolate, really whatever you like. I always add about 1/4 of a slice of paraffin wax. I mean, just a small little bit basically of paraffin wax to my chocolate chips. That just helps, and it gets a little bit thinner, so you don't get such a like glob of chocolate over it. It also makes them nice and shiny. So over here I was just grinding up the graham cracker crumbs, so I have that done now, and now it's just time to get all the other things mixed up. So if you do make this, just kind of note that this sort of peanut butter mixture is quite dry. Mine seems a little bit drier just because I microwaved my half a stick of butter for 10 seconds, and I think I should have gone about 12 or maybe even 15 seconds just to get it a little bit softer. So my beaters just don't want to mix it quite as well as what I'd like. So I'm just going to get in here and soften it up here with my spoon and then remix it, and then we're going to get these rolled out into balls.
Can't you wait?
Here, maybe I will. Oh, put the elf on the shelf.
Okay, I showed you guys that recipe, I think, for Mongolian beef. This is a brand new recipe that I was just trying today. And so I just made up some quick rice. And then how it goes down is you make a sauce over here, and it has a little bit of oil and some minced garlic and some like minced up ginger. And then there was also some soy sauce and brown sugar. And so you make up that sauce and let it thicken, and then you fry up the like sliced meat. In my case, I used venison. And so you just kind of like dredged it in a bunch of cornstarch, like I think it was a cup of cornstarch, and you let it set for just about 15 minutes. And then I put oil in this pan, and I just kind of like basically deep fried all of the meat real quick, just like a minute on each side, really, really fast. Poured out all the oil, let the meat drain on some paper towels. Hey guys, just a sec. Shh, shh. Let the meat drain on some paper towels. Everybody's coming for supper here. And then put the meat and the sauce back in here real quick and added in some red pepper flakes. So we'll see. I'm really excited to try this, and then we're just having it with some green beans and milk. And that's about it for tonight's supper. Okay, so a few final thoughts on the Mongolian beef recipe. So this is something that I would definitely make again. And I always want to stop in and do this for you guys, just kind of give you my thoughts on new recipes, and I tend to forget all the time. But if next time I make this, there's two changes I'd make. One, I'm going to get some fresh red pepper flakes because it wasn't quite as spicy as we'd like. I did the 1/4 of a teaspoon like it called for. But I think my red pepper flakes are a little old. And then the next change I would make is, it called for a 1/2 cup of water. I'd actually do a whole cup of water because we'd like it a little bit saucier, not quite as sticky. But the flavor, if you go to Panda Express and you kind of like that sort of sweet Asian style food or whatever, so good. So this tasted very similar. So that, those are my final thoughts. So earlier today, Peter and I got the dough out. Actually, maybe Maria too. I don't even know. But they really wanted to work on making candy cane cookies. And the day just kind of kept on getting away from us. So eventually here, Peter and I did start working on them. I let him help me with one pan, and then I said, okay, you got to go to bed. But then I got Warren helping me. He's real thrilled. But he, you know, he told me earlier today, he's like, you know what? Don't stress out about all the stuff that has to be done for Christmas. I will help you with anything. Yep. And so as he was tucking Peter in, I said, guess what? I'm going to take you up on that. You're going to help me make candy cane cookies. So we're just pounding them out over here. It's not going too bad. We actually have been kind of discovering a couple new ways of doing the candy cane cookies, which is going pretty well. So that is going to be it. I will put recipes for the Christmas cookies, anything that I made in this video, in the description box below. I hope you guys have a fantastic evening. And as always, I hope you're finding ways to put Christ into Christmas. So you guys have a great night. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.
That's your cue to say bye.
Bye.